go back to the previous slide. So dependency constant will remain same. This mobility also remains same because we have taken that, and only things will change. Go back, go back. That constant was saying.
Hmm.
Go to the next slide where the constant was.
Previous
Uh,
this year.
yeah. No, no, that constant where the constant was shown. So here only resource constant. You see here the last part. He just put A1 and A2. Why you are changing slides? Hello.
Yes.
Just keep that slide where the constants are mentioned.
Here.
No, no, where the for example constant was mentioned, right? You go to the next slide. Yeah, this one. So you see here that only change is the resource constant. That earlier it was A1, the value of A1 and A2 was 2 was written in this equation. Now he is putting the value of, I mean, it's a variable A1, A2, and say, I mean, it will be for both type of resource. Yeah, carry on.
Huh. So now if we model in ILP, so in this case, okay. Uh, Here you can see I have defined C1 cost equal to 5, C2 cost equal to 1, and latency L equal to 5 because 4 plus 1, so I define directly 5. And cycle D equal to 1. A1 is varying from 0 to any maximum double number because it is unknown actually. And that will be simplex. The solver will try every number and fix on a number, decide a number which one is giving minimum value. So A1, A2 is undefined now. Now the initialization steps all are same. Then objective function is changed now. We have added two objective is C1 into A1, C2 into A2. Then objective is to minimize the objective function. Now unique start time again same. Dependency constant is also same. Only the change is here. We have written minus A1 which is less than to 0. So this part is undecided, means need to be calculated. So we put a variable. In the previous case, it was given, I am now showing MLRC. In MLRC, it is A2 is given, but A2 is defined there, 2 or 3. But in MRLC, it is undefined. Now, same, if solver solves, it will show the result,
You show
otherwise
the
it will show
objective
the,
function, therefore the objective function you just show once. Objective.
yes. This is the objective function where two terms are added. Here see,
So
object is to
C1 is,
minimize C1.
yeah, C1 into A1 plus C2 into A2, right? That is the objective function. Yeah, carry on. Hello. Devabhata, can you hear us? We can't hear you, Devabhata. So I think connection lost to Devabhata. We can wait for a couple of minutes. So wait for Devabhata to rejoin, I guess. certain things. I don't know the name, but algorithm is something is polynomial. Problem become so DAG is basically tree when and then your problem become polynomial, right? So we try to to answer, you have a any node to the sync node, there is a
So
unique
your
path.
voice is breaking. Can you repeat once?
Yeah, is it audible now? Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello.
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Yeah. So the question that was asked is when I claim that if the DAG is a tree, right, then the scheduling problem, that minimization of latency, is a polynomial time solver problem. Otherwise, it's a NP complete problem, right? And so we need to discuss the basic intuition why it is basically polynomial time and it is NP complete, right? So the basic idea is if you have a tree, so that means if you take any node from anywhere, you try to go to sync, there is a unique path, right? There is no multiple path to reach the unique path that to sync node. So the idea is that, and you are taking a greedy decision, right? So you try to take the node that has the highest distance from the sync node and you try to schedule them earliest, right? So you are basically taking a greedy choice. Now the point here is that if you try to schedule them there, and since there is a unique path, so that solution actually leads to global optimization solution, right? But what is the problem with it graph which is not tree, right? Which is DAG but it is not tree. So what will happen? So the main problem is that now if you are in a some node, there may be many paths to the sync node, right? And not all the path has the same distance, right? So some path may be of 20 distance and some of them only 2, right? And then what will be the distance we should take for that node? It is logically that it should be the maximum of that node, right? So what I'm trying to say is if you take that maximum at that point, what will happen? So now all the node which preceded predecessor of that will be calculated based on the maximum value, right? So that means whatever the distance value or the priority value you are calculating, earlier it was a unique, but now it is not a unique because you have multiple path, you are taking the max and that getting propagated to all nodes, right? So as a result, these are exact value, that particular the priority value is not the exact, and if you take a decision early, it may not guarantee that you will always get a minimum solution. So that's the basic intuition. So that's why taking a call at early does not guarantee the unique solution. So that's why you have to check all possible solution. NP complete is what you have to check all possible solution and you have to take the one. You cannot just judge by taking a one solid decision and you make sure that I don't need to check the other decisions, right? So if you have to, we cannot confirm that that local decision is leads to that global. So then you have to check all possible thing, and then you have to that problem is complex, right? It's a harder problem, and it's an NP complete problem. But once it's a tree, since a unique path, the decision is correct and it is exact decision, and because the priority is always exact, there is no multiple or variance of the priority. So that's why that problem becomes simpler and it's a polynomial solvable. Again, this is a intuitive answer. It's not something I'm proving this is NP complete. Okay. So Devabota, are you back? Otherwise, I'll continue the class. I think he might have some problem, but I hope you understand how to model and how to run, right? It's basically you have to just download Cplex and you have to just code the things in Java, C, C++, Python, and you have to just run. You have to declare the variable. You have to write the constant in the format Cplex supports, and then you have to have an objective function, and then you just run it, and it will give you a solution, or it will say solution is not possible or possible. Then what is the solution and all, and you can play with that. So it's a good thing, and you can actually write a small code which will actually identify the constant. He wrote the constant manually, but you can write a program which will take a graph as the input and will automatically identify the constant. Right. So that's something you can also try.
There.
Okay. So yeah, Devabota, are you back?
Yes, sir.
So you quickly saw the MRLC one, and then I'll move to the class. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So it is visible now?
Yes.
So we have changes the objective function, and object is to minimize the thing, and also this. Let me run the program. So here you can see the output is 12. What is the desired output? 5 into 2 plus 1 into 2, it is 12. So now we can do some variation here, and the schedule is same as per the previous schedule. So if you change here CO2 to 5, then the value here will be changed.
So he's changing the cost of the adder.
So here now it is finding the 20. Now we can also check the latency to be 4. So if latency 4, then it should not be solvable, right? So if I run this one, then now schedule cannot solve the problem. So this much variation I need to show here. So from my side, it's done.
Okay. I think, thank you, Devabhuta. I think student who is interested in the ILP formulation and all and try to use ILP for other problem. So this introduction probably helped them. And if you have any doubt, you can always approach Devabhuta. Right? He is working on scheduling. I mean, his PhD is on scheduling. So he knows many things on scheduling. Right? If you have any specific question on those things, then probably when it's good that you just contact Devabhuta. He will help you. Okay. So let me just come back to the class again. Udbhav has a microphone problem, but his question is that if we use an algorithm, we loop over 1 to lambda, and for each time how many operations can be scheduled based on the available resource and schedule them at that time frame greedily. Yeah. So basically, what you are doing. So let me just share the screen. Then it will. I think it will. Then it will help you to understand much better way. So. Let me share my screen. Is the screen visible now? Is the screen visible? Anybody can answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just to answer this Udbhav question, basically, if you see this, sorry, I should go to here, use algorithm. Yeah. So if you see here, if you remember that we actually assign a value to the node, right, which is called the alpha, which is basically alpha I of a node vi, which is the distance from the sink node, right? So, so what is that? You basically what you are doing here is you are assigning. So, for example, this node is at a distance from node sink is 1. So, I am actually giving some priority order, right? So this is something I'm actually giving some value to the node. I'm assigning the value with some logic, and which is basically determine the priority, right? I assign the node, this node and this node 4. That's why when I'm going to do the algorithm, this algorithm I'm going to take this node first, right? So basically, so I'm going to select such nodes basically which has maximum level, right? So if there are 10 nodes are available, if there are 3 resource, I'm going to take those 3 which has the maximum level. So that means this numbering is actually a priority order, right? So my argument is that if it is a tree, so if you have any node, you have exactly one path to the sink node, right? So that priority that you are assigning here is basically unique or exact, right? Now you consider a graph like this, right? So let me just try to draw something. Suppose this is your sink node, and suppose there is a node here. There are multiple path here, right? So I'm not drawing the intermediate nodes, but say I am say there are multiple nodes here, right? So suppose again something like this. So this is possible. All are directed edge, right? So now think about this. So when you consider this node, this particular node, there are multiple paths to this, right? So what will be the priority? So it is not exact, right? So for example, here if this path length is say 4, this is say 3, this is say 5, this is 2, because there may be 5 nodes here, right? So the distance may be different. So it's not a single edge. I just draw simply. So then usually what we do is the max of all this, right? So then it is not exact. You can take something else also. You can take average of this. You can take minimum of this, whatever it is. So usually we take the maximum of this. So I'll assign 5. So now you think about for this node, if there are say this is 4, 2 and 4, say 5 again. So I have to take 5 plus 5. So this becomes 10, right? That is one of the heuristics. So it's a heuristic. So it's not the exact. What I'm trying to say that if there is a tree, all this priority value, the assignment is for which your ordering matters is unique. Whereas whenever there is a graph or this is not tree, there are multiple paths. So you have to take some heuristic, and now your whole algorithm will work based on this number, right? So what I'm trying to see, this priority is not unique or it is not exact. So your choice at this point may not guarantee the scheduling of all those things. The rest of the things you cannot guarantee them. So that is something you can always construct a graph. If you just go by this logic, it may not give you may not actually meet the schedule bound, because in Hughes algorithm, what do you say? It give you the lower bound of the resource, right? So Hughes algorithm, we know the lower bound of resource, and we also know the lambda, and it ensures that it always, with this number of resource, this schedule always schedule all the operation within the lambda bound, right? So that is what the beauty of this Hughes algorithm, but which is something not the case. So if you have this tree, this is not a tree, since this particular ordering, this maximum leveling is not unique, so that may not guarantee that local decision ends up in a global solution, right? So I hope I have cleared the doubt. Okay. So let me continue. So basically we have seen in Hughes algorithm that we are going to assign some priority number, right? So the leveling, right? And then based on the leveling, I'm going to select, and based on, so this is MRLC, that means you are trying to minimize the resource. But here in Hughes algorithm, we have found that we can actually identify the lower bound of resource. So we can take that, and which is a bar, and then we try to schedule the operations based on the priority, and the priority is basically the maximum distance from the source sink node, and we are going to select only those nodes which has more priority, right? So it's basically give a precedence order among the nodes or the tasks to be scheduled. Okay, so this we have understood. So basically, if you say if the lower bound is 3, in the last class we have seen that in the first operation there are 5 nodes, sorry. So there are 5 so 5 nodes are available. So I'm going to select only nodes which has maximum level. So 4, 4, 3. So I'm going to select them, and the next time I'm going to select 3, 2, 2. So among these 4, only 3 I can select. So I'm going to select this 3, which is basically give the maximum level, and the next time I'm going to select this, and then this and this, right? So this is basically for tree. And then we have seen that this particular lower bound and the lambda. So we can actually calculate a lower bound of resource for a given lambda. And then what we have shown that it actually Hughes algorithm always can guarantee that a solution with a lower bound of resources in lambda time, and which is basically solve both. It also give you the I mean, if you know this, if you know the lower bound of resource and then lambda is the minimum, so you also give you the minimum resource also, right? So this is what the beauty of this Hughes algorithm. But it only works for a specific class of program, not for general case, right? And we have seen that for general case, this this problem is NP complete. That means that you cannot have a polynomial algorithm which give you the optimal solution in polynomial time, right? For polynomial, there does not exist any deterministic algorithm which polynomial time can solve the problem, right? Or give the minimum latency, right? So that's why we usually go for heuristic algorithm, right? What is heuristic algorithm? Is basically it go by some logic, right? There are some logic through which you are going to you are going to work on that, but it is a polynomial time algorithm, And we'll see today that this, if you try to solve this minimize latency under resource constraint, that means MLRC, we can actually get the idea from Hughes algorithm, right? So we can actually enhance this Hughes algorithm for normal graph with the same logic, and it will guarantee, I mean, it will give you a solution. Obviously it cannot give the best solution all the cases, but it gives the good solution most of the time, right? So, and the complexity will remain order of n. Okay, so let's understand that. So for a generic graph and the delay does not is not 1, what will happen, the first thing is that for heuristic algorithm, let me just try to give the brief idea of the heuristic algorithm first, then we'll go for the formulation part. So for heuristic algorithm, as I mentioned for Hughes algorithm also, that you need to assign some priority value to the nodes, and then you should have a priority order. Okay, so that is must. So you should have some mechanism by which you can order the nodes according to their priority, so that the node with the maximum priority will come first, right? And Hughes algorithm, that was the longest path, and we have seen that that particular number is unique. So that's why it says a exact ordering. You do not have multiple ordering. For a tree, the ordering is always fixed, right? In the sense that if there are two nodes of two nodes, their ordering doesn't matter. But since all the node has a unique number, I can so that actually give you the exact solution. But so I'm going to, for least scheduling, what I'm going to do, I'm going to again take the longest path from the sink as the priority value, and then since you might have the delay is not 1, so it is more than 1, so you need to know how to calculate this longest path. And so basically for longest path calculation, you don't need to think about that, so it is the distance, right? But during the algorithm, how to select operation, you need to understand which are the operations is available at that point. That's something you need to know. And the second thing is that and some operation, if starts somewhere early, it may continue, right? So for that there are two terminology I'm going to define, which is ULK. So suppose you are at time step L, right? You are at time step L, you try to schedule operation here, right? So, and there are many type of operations. Here the operation is not a single type, right? Same operation type is K types of operation. So what I'm going to say, so basically I try to figure out the operation ULK, which has star of type K. It is actually operation type K using the type K resource, and it is actually started early and it actually finishes execution before L. So that means this is an operation which started early and complete his execution before the time step L, right? That's a Tj plus Dj less than L, right? It might take say 4 cycle or something, so it started early and completion is execution before the L step. What does it mean? The node that is following this Vi can be schedulable, right? So Vi is now schedulable in time step L. So ULK is the set of nodes which has started his execution early and it's finished his execution before time step L. Okay, so this is ULK. Similarly, I can have unfinished operation TLK. So that means I am in time step L and some operation which is started somewhere previously and it's still continuing in time step L. Right? So I am in time step L, and these are the operation which is started earlier and his execution is continuing greater than L. So that means it is still continuing in time step L. So what does it mean? And it is a type operation type K, right? So it means this particular operation is going to consume a resource here, right? If it is a multiplier, I must assign one of the multiplier for this operation, because I can only schedule other operation if other multiplier available, but this will going to use one multiplier because it's already started. I cannot stop it or postpone it, right? It has to run. So TK is something, those kind of operation. So I have defined two things. ULK is the node which already completed his execution before my current time step L, and TK is the operation which is started early but is still continuing in time step L. Okay. And as I mentioned, for this heuristic algorithm, the priority list is important so you have given a graph which is DAG, direct acyclic graph. So there is no loop, but it may not be tree. It's a graph, right? There may be multiple paths. So for such kind of graph, you need to have a priority list, right? So the example is shown here. It's actually a tree, but we can always find some example where it is not actually tree. Okay. And so for priority list, I'm going to use the same thing, that the longest path, right? The distance from the sink node. And you see, I have actually copied the same example from Hughes algorithm. So this number inside the circle is basically the priority number, right? And now whenever I know the value, I can always order them, and that is called precedence, right? Precedence of the operation, right? So I based on this number, I can have a ordering of the number nodes, right? So it is basically 1, 2, 6, 8, 10, sorry, 1, 2, 6, 3, then 8, 10, 7, and then 4, then this 9, 11, 5 will come. So this is the order of the nodes, right? So that is given to me. Okay. And now I'm going to run this minimization of resource under latency constant. Sorry, so this is MLRC. Sorry, my resource constant is given. This is MLRC, minimum latency. Minimize the latency under resource constant. Okay, so this is MLRC problem. So what I'm doing here is, it's basically enhancement of the Hughes algorithm. So if you see, remember that in Hughes algorithm, what I do, I do not have the type of resource. It's the only, so you can think of this for loop is running for only one. So 1 to 1, right? 1 to 1. So it's basically now I have to do the thing for all type of resource. So I just add a loop here. So it was, this line was not there in the Hughes algorithm. So it is only one type of resource. So it's 1 to 1. And then what you do there, you identify the node which is basically is available to schedule in the timestamp, right? So if you see here, UK is those node whose predecessor is already done. So this is not VI, not the VJ. So what I'm saying, this node is VJ, which has completed the execution, and UK contain only the node whose predecessors are over, right? So it will contain VI. Okay. So if you remember there, we identify the nodes which actually schedulable in this timestamp. Right. So here also I am identifying those operations ULK, because ULK the operation whose predecessors have completed the execution before timestamp L, and I am in the timestamp L because it is L equal to 1 and this loop is going for every L, right? So I'll identify the operation which is schedulable in this timestamp, and this line was not there, but it is important here because the operations are multi-cycle, right? So what I have to give highest priority to this guy, right? These are the operation which has started early of this type resource K and still continue. So I need to give resource to this. I have to allocate resource for this node first, and if some extra resource available, then only I can assign to them to ULK, right? So that is what I'm doing here. I am selecting a subset of this ULK such that SK plus TLK is less than AK. So AK is the maximum resource available of this type resource. So I am assigning data. So if this is already AK, this will be 0, right? And this cannot be greater than AK because it is already scheduled earlier. So that they are already, we have taken care of that particular thing. So TLK cannot be greater than equal to AK, but it can be equal to AK. So only if some resource available after assigning the running operation, then only I'm going to select these operations from this set, which is basically ready to be scheduled here. And this selection is something based on the priority, right? This is priority based, which is not mentioned here. This is based on the priority, right? So if there are say 4 operation which is ready to be scheduled here, only I have to select one. I'm going to select the person or the node which has the maximum priority, and the priority is the longest path from the sink node. Okay. So this is basically, and then I'm going to schedule those SK in timestamp L. So this is basically, you see, that is why we actually learn Hughes algorithm, because that particular priority ordering comes in the Hughes logic, and then we can actually make it generic to solve the MLRC problem in a heuristic based algorithm, you can understand the complexity of this algorithm is basically order of n, because it's basically every time you are actually scheduling an operation, you are done, kind of, right? So it's basically it will go for the number of nodes in the graph, right? And it's in, if you just think about the type of resources one, and that this you do not have the delay is one, so this never come, it become the Hughes algorithm, right? So it's basically if k equal to 1, so only one type of resource, and the di, so the tj is always 0, right? Because the operation always schedule in one time step, it's finished one time step. So this is exactly the Hughes algorithm, right? So this is basically an extension of the Hughes algorithm, which run first order of n, gives solution reasonably well for most of the cases, but there may be some scenario where the solution may not be unique. But for tree also, this will give you the optimal solution. Okay, so just to elaborate the algorithm, so suppose I have given the same graph again, and I have say I have given the multiplier 3 multiplier with the delay 2, and there are 1 ALU with delay 1, right? So I have given this is the resource bound, right? 3 and 1, but for the first time I'm taking the delay 2, is not unique delay, right? Because here otherwise it is the same as Hughes algorithm, right? And now say in the first steps I am in the time step 1. So what are the nodes are available? So these are the 5 nodes are available, right? Because their sync node is already done. So, and I know the and say I have to do it for each type of resource, so I should not consider this first. So for the multiplier type, there are 4 multipliers available, and say there are 3 multiplier I can select. So which one I should select? This node has the priority 4, I know this is 4 and this is 3, this is 2, so I should select 1, 2 and 6, right? I should select 1, 2 and 6 for the multiplier, and I am going to schedule them here, and then I am going to do for them add ALU, and only one ALU is available, which is the 10, and I am going to schedule it here. So in the time step 1, I have scheduled operation 1, 2, 6 and 10, and these are all multiplier, and that was adder, right? This is adder. And now in the second time step, since I have, so in the second time step, my pk is 3 and there are 3 multipliers, so I cannot, although this multiplier is available in the second time step, I cannot schedule any new multiplier here because my all available resources are occupied here. So but I can schedule this operation because this can be done, because one ALU can do this. So in the second time step, only the ALU type this will be scheduled. Again in the third time step, now these are all done, so these 3 operations are ready to be scheduled and there are 3 multiplier, so I can schedule these 3 and they will contribute 3 and 4. And here there is no available ALU operation to be scheduled, so none of the ALU operation will be scheduled here. In time step 4, I mean since these 3 multiplier are already continuing, I cannot execute any further multiplier, and also I cannot execute any ALU because none of them is ready to be scheduled here. So time and 4 is done. In 5, when this multiplier done, all 3 multiplier are available, but no multiplier remain to be scheduled, so nothing to be done. Only I am going to do these operations here, and time step 6 I am do this, and this is here. So if I have say 3 multiplier and 1 ALU, this will be a schedule. And if you can actually play with say 2 ALU, 2 multiplier, all those things with delay 2 and 3, you will get different solution. And since it's a tree, this is the optimal solution, right? Because this is a tree. But if it is not a tree, you might have a better solution, whatever this algorithm gives. Okay. So with this, I conclude today's class, and I'll actually discuss the list scheduling for MRLC, that minimization of resource under latency constraints, in the next class. Okay.
One small doubt, sir. Here,
Yeah.
Here, don't delete the link annotation, so please. Okay. So in the nodes 1 to 6, sir, you had assigned the values 4, 4, and 3, right?
Yeah, 4, 4, and 3. This is the distance from the sync node.
Right, but shouldn't we not be assigning only distance, but like it should be a weighted distance, including the time taken for the multipliers as well?
So that is your choice. So nobody tell this list scheduling. See here, if you see this list scheduling algorithm, it does not talk about that. It just say ki you have some priority, so it's a generic algorithm, right? And
But
what
sir,
is your priority order is your decision, right? So you might have, you are right that it might be the multiplication of the cost into the distance, right? So whatever your logic, that will give you different solution. But this is the generic algorithm to solve the minimization of latency under resource constraint. What is the priority order? It's your decision. So I have discussed with the longest path, the distance from the sink node, but you might define something else also. The algorithm will still work, right? It's all about what is the priority you are assigning. But for minimization of latency, the distance may be the good measure. And the performance of the heuristic depends on your all depends on your priority order. So everything depends on that particular number, right? If you are assigning some different number, probably you says the way you have assigned, probably you can probably schedule 8 also, not 1 2, say for some different kind of ordering. So the way you give the number, it will give a order, and order determines the schedule, right? So it depends on the how good your this ordering.
so is this heuristic-based algorithm not guaranteeing the optimal solution then?
Yes, it does not, right? So that this problem is NP complete, right? How can it give a guaranteed optimal solution?
Even no for the tree case, even for the tree case, is it saying
Yes.
it's not optimal?
Yeah, it may because if your heuristic heuristic or the priority function is not good, say you decide that say suppose your priority is something like this distance from the source, that is also priority, right? So it may not give you a good solution, right? So basically the algorithm versus your priority is a two separate aspect. Heuristic algorithm is this: I'm going to do this, but how you're going to select this subset is the things that depends on your how good your this priority function, right? If your priority function is good, so for example the longest distance from the sink, then if it is a tree, this algorithm still give you the optimal solution. But if your priority function is different, you are right that even for tree it won't give you the um, uh, best solution, because it never claims that it will give best solution. It's just a heuristic, right? But in general, if you see in the practice, all people use only heuristic algorithm because ILP is not feasible. It's too much time it takes for bigger example, and the problem itself is NP complete. But when you write a synthesis tool, a high level synthesis tool, your expectation that you will give a 500 600 line of Verilog when C code in 1 minute or 2 minutes, your code when your schedule should be generated or your RTL should be generated. So people don't want the faster execution and say you are okay even if your solution is 90% optimal. So it says in normal times, say probably it will take 100 cycle, you are taking say 107 cycle, 108 cycle. People don't bother about that extra 5 6 cycle because in you are actually running in order of n time. So that's the biggest advantage. Understood?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, even if we try to go for some other order, in that case we have to consider the dependency, data dependency case also.
Yeah, so that obviously will come because you if you see the order will come, but order should not violate. Yeah, it's a good point actually. So the order should not violate the precedent data dependency constant, right? So you should not have any order say so that you try to schedule 5 before 1, right? It should not happen because say suppose but actually what will happen if you see here the definition of UK. So that 5, even if that is the highest priority, that won't come to the ready list, right? So the ready list is basically your
Yes,
right? So UK
yes.
is the ready list. So UK only for this node whose predecessor is already scheduled. So say suppose the example I was giving, say the distance is from the sink node, right? So then this is the highest priority node in according to that order. So but in the first iteration 5 won't be scheduled because they that is not in the ready list. Only 1 2 6 8 and 10 will be in the ready list. So your ULK ensures that dependency is followed, and among them only the node which is the highest priority will be selected. Okay.
So, sir,
But it's
assigning priority will basically depend on data dependency also.
So priority can be anything, but the way this algorithm, yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if your priority satisfy the data dependency constraint, then that is a good priority, right? So that is a good priority, and it will actually give you a good solution. But if your priority does not satisfy the data dependency, then your solution will be random, right? It won't give you the optimal solution, because this algorithm, this heuristic won't give you any good solution. Do you get my point?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, I
Yeah.
get it.
But it won't schedule the operation. Even if you give a highest priority to node 5 instead of 1, it won't schedule. This algorithm ensures
Yes,
that
it will not.
valid schedule, but
Yes,
the
sir.
schedule maybe is not good. Right? So that's the difference.
Okay.
Okay, good. So any other question? Otherwise, we'll conclude the class. I hope. Yeah, this is a very simple. The